update what's going on with the books because I haven't done one of these in a very, very long time. And I have been updating the player's handbook for the last day or so because the editor's done. And I have a bunch of new software upgrades when I got the new Zara. So I wanted to work on the new features before I want to flip them over to the DMG because like replacing all the charts and stuff like that. Why? Because the player's handbook is done, so I know I can look at the charts that I've made and apply them to the ones that I originally kind of kit bashed and see how they looked. And the new book has actually got a lot more upgrades. I fixed a lot of things that I wasn't too happy with. For example, I pulled all of the things I didn't like out of the 5e character design or the racial design. So you had, let me see, like, for example, I always complain about too much magic in the game. So with the exception of the She, I took out all of the magic cantrips that races get to start with and replaced them with something more mundane or something specialized to that to make it to be better. I also stripped out all of the I stripped out all of the proficiencies and replaced them with abilities. And it's a live stream because I've got 30 minutes because I'm covering for a guy that got hurt on the job, but the job doesn't start for another 30 minutes. I just gotta go pick up some heavy stuff for the new driver. Because I live around here and I can pick up heavy things. Okay, so I've updated all of the charts on the new player's handbook, and the old charts were kind of kit bashed because it didn't have the ability to make charts 5 years ago. I have no idea what's wrong with him other than the fact that he can't lift a door. And so the old charts are like an old shame. But we've also gone through there and replaced all of the typos, all of the little things. For a 224-page book, for the editor to only find about 115 problems, that's a good thing. Sadly, that means the current video is being delayed, which it's already been written and been edited. I just have to record it and put it together, but I got writer's brain last night and I was doing nothing but writing all this down. And once the charts are done, once I've figured out how to do all the charts and all the new additional stuff, I can throw that into the DMG. I will not be updating these for 5th edition because I'm not too fond of 5th edition. It looks like it's going to need a day one patch, which I didn't think was going to be a thing. But yeah, that's what's going on with that. And then once I figure out how to do all the new features, we're going to be tossing all that into the DMG, so I can get it right on the first try there rather than having to play around with it on a new book. I will be trying to get something my own page up right now. Well, everybody knows the economy is tight. Yeah, I'm an analog gamer. I have no interest in digital. I've played online, but it's not my bag, baby. So I would like to get like a Mystara channel that I can store stuff on, because as much as I love Hal to death, it's really not fair on him to have him store all of my books there. For the Italian guys, Dennis and the Italian Ministry of Mystara is going to be translating the book into Italian as soon, or the changes are going to be translated into Italian as soon as I get it to him. I've got 67 pages done. I should have the remaining pages done tonight. It's not a problem. For whatever reason, I had an issue with, I got everything done. I looked down and the formatting on several of the pages completely changed itself, which made me have to reformat the entire book. But I found a way around that. I just have to cut and paste. But I did do several changes to make the book more playable. For those of you who do still play 5th edition, or just play your version, like for example, the original, the She, had vulnerability to iron, which is like double damage to iron weapons, but that wasn't a good mechanic. It made it almost impossible to play a frontline Shi. So now they just take an additional D4 damage. The Belkades elves lose all the actual the weapon proficiencies, because racial proficiencies are really redundant in 5th edition, because if you're going to be playing a fighter, you get all of them anyways, and you don't get anything in return. So now they get extra charisma. High elves, or the high elves lose all their cantrips, the gnomes lose their cantrips, but they get something else in return. Like I said, I've identified the problems with 5th edition. I'm trying to address it, at least as far as Mystara goes. And they've hinted strongly, and I will believe it when I see it, that they will be doing, they're going to be opening up a lot of things on the guild. And if that happens, fantastic. But because if it doesn't happen, we're still at the status quo. Nothing's changed. What am I supposed to do? And there's a lot I'd like to do, but it's like, the art costs money. I've got to pay Rubus, and he's been super busy. He's gotten me more stuff, but it's going to take a while, and we still have half of the DMG to write. Then we got to get it play tested, and then once all that's done, we throw it out there, and hopefully I can make my money back, because it's going to cost me thousands of dollars just on the art. So yeah, that's kind of the state of that. The new DMG is, we're going through right now. I think there's several. We've got like several hundred just adventure seeds, that's kind of the theme of the book right now, though we're going to be expanding out on that. And we're going through the lore stuff right now for the DMs, for the hidden stuff, and that's a slog. But you do what you got to do, and then I've got to cut down the additional areas that we're going to be talking about to just 10. That's an editing decision that's actually rather difficult. Because there's more than just 10 places to talk about. So what do you cut? Hollow World's in. That's not a big deal. That's not a question. The Savage Coast, that's in. Miyashima. Miyashima. Do we do the moon? Do we do Slagovich? Do we do the side things? The African nations of the Skothar that I created? Do we throw that in? What do we include? What do we throw out? I think there's like 16, 17 that I've got on there, and I got to cut it down to 10. I'm on a hard page count. I've only got 320 pages to play with, and a lot of that is going to be taken up by the domains, the mass combat, as well as the including all the magic, or the magic items. So there's a lot of stuff you gotta play in, you gotta put in and take out. I've got to put in buffers, so that's going to cost my page count, because I threw out the who's who and the different factions, and I realized I'm just jumping into it without a prelude, so that had to go back. So every page I've put in means I got to take a page out somewhere else. It's the editing, it's the editing conundrum. You've got too much stuff, and you're going to only have so much space. And then I got to save 3 or 4 pages for the index. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm going to be running out of pages faster than I can save, than I can do it. But I got to make this print worthy so you can take it to Lulu. And if in the process I'm writing this, they actually open it up and put it on the guild, I can do it there, so that you can have it printed on their dime. But then they'll all get jealous because mine's going to be so much better, because it always is. So that is the general where are we now for the Mystara channel. The DMG, the Player's Handbook, will be completely revised. It will be available in the POD format. And I'll get that up. I got to find a place. Like I said, I got to find a place to put it. People tell me they do Patreon, but I've got to actually work on the Patreon. I have to actually start doing stuff on a Patreon thing. Oh no, the DMG is going to be is going to be one book. That's not a problem. I can throw everything out that I left out into like other things else like that. Yeah, you got to have an index, especially one on this size. Okay, so that's what's going on, and I have zero faith in Wizards whatsoever. But he's like, I did the 5th edition kind of just to test my game writing abilities, and now I'm gone into testing my game writing abilities and testing testing my book composition capabilities. Yeah, you have to do everything under the fan creation license. So if you want to do the POD, I can't make a dime on that. So anything, if anybody wants to toss me money, they have to go onto PayPal and toss me money that way. I can't sell these books. But the last player's guide, when I did it initially with all the warts, you guys downloaded the spine for the POD like 40,000 times. That means there's 40,000 copies of that book out there. Because nobody's going to download the spine unless they're going to take it to POD. Which is kind of staggering. It makes me wonder how much the other guys, how much their book sold for. And just think, Wizards of the Coast got nothing of that. So, and I was like, I don't think anybody's gonna give me that much money for the remastered Mystara Player's Guide unless they've just discovered it. But I'm not going to be some sort of e-beggar like a lot of the channels do and just like, hey, I'm broke, please send me money. Hey guys, I have got quality geek shit for your money. So anyways, I've got to get to the job site. So thanks for listening. Thanks for listening to me ramble. And that's probably going to be it. So I will catch you guys later and hopefully have the POD or the PDF. I'll have the book finished tonight and maybe I can do something about that. Take care, guys.